This video is about Criminal Law Reform 2020. This is basically a big overhaul of the criminal laws in India, both of IPC, CrPC and Evidence Act. So basically, I will show the point number one. This is a notification by Ministry of Home Affairs on 30th of June, wherein it says that it's a public notice and people have been invited to give their inputs on the change of laws. Now there is some doubt about who can participate in this, because the notification says invitation to participate in expert consultations. I will come on that point in detail later as to whether a general public person, a layman, can be considered an expert. Can he or she submit his inputs to this committee, or is it only for expert people like some advocates, judicial officers and the like, maybe some kind of NGOs. So I'll come to that point in more detail later. Let me go to the what exactly is this committee, and what is the role of National Law University of Delhi, who are some kind of consultants or collaborators of this whole project, and the aim of the committee, and then we will come to the what is expert consultation and public consultation. So I have the website of this criminallawreforms.in, which is the URL, and you can see on the left hand side there is a logo of NLU Delhi. So very quickly, this is the page, what are the aims and guiding principles. So basically, constitution, human rights, simplified procedure, transparency and accountability. Well, sounds like a tall order. Fair and time-bound trial, again, something which has not happened in more than like 70 years. Victim justice, and so on and so. So these are like the very high-level principles. Now let's go to the three areas of law where this committee will focus on. The first is the basically the substantive laws, which are your IPC, the Indian Penal Code, and various other sections, various other acts basically, which are for criminal offenses. So the second major part is the criminal laws, which is the Code of Criminal Procedure, commonly known as CrPC. And here are various points as to what are the aims and objectives. And then it's the law of evidence, and these are the points of what will be the areas of under this law of evidence which will be covered. Now, so these are the aims of the committee which we just now covered, and let me just go to the two links which are for expert and so-called open consultations. Earlier this link was called public consultation. It has changed recently, so I think this page will change over time. So if you click on this link, let me just, so if you click on consultation, it will open up, I believe, the link for expert consultations, and there is a process for registration. So basically, I guess if somebody wants to give their inputs, they have to register here. They will get, there is an organization name, so it's something like you have to be part of some NGO or something like that. I'll come to that point again, and you have to provide your email address and mobile number, etc. So there is probably some kind of verification. It is not like you can just anonymously give your inputs. So that's probably the idea, that people cannot just give their inputs anonymously. And the schedule of consultation is given on the right hand side. There are 28 days for criminal law, the first expert consultation, then second expert consultation, again 28 days from 18/7 to 14/8. So there are three, there are 6 phases, and all the 3 areas will be covered by 9th of October. There is another notification, which is revision of schedule for consultations, dated 17 July, and it pretty much gives the same detail which we saw on the website. So this is I'm just showing this PDF. This is another notification which I received from somewhere. So going back to so let's click on open consultation. What exactly is that? Now if you click on this web page, earlier it used to be public consultation, and it was it was showing the about page of the website. Right now, yesterday it was showing 404 not found, and today it's showing a blank page. So I guess it's work in progress. Probably it's for public, but we are not sure. Let us see. Now coming to the whether a general person can give feedback now, or does he or she need to wait for later. So if I read the notification, let's just open. See, I will try to take it in a layman friendly way. So basically, now it says that subject area experts and governmental and NGOs have already been invited. So basically, this sentence, I guess the meaning is they have already been invited by the committee. In addition to the above, if any person or organization remains unreached, now they can register at this website which we just saw. Give your email, organization name, mobile number, email, etc., and then participate. Now, what exactly is who can participate? So my guess is, if you are a citizen and if you have had any kind of role, or maybe if you have, let's say, even if you have to been to a court, a criminal court, as either a victim or as a accused, now you are a stakeholder. So I don't think that you can be disallowed from participating in this as a stakeholder. So feel free to give your feedback as a stakeholder. So let's go back to our slide number 2, and I will quickly go over some of the media coverage and some of the resources and PDF files which are already available on the Criminal Law Reforms website. So this is the media coverage from their website, and basically most of these articles are from Dr. G.S. Bajpai, who is the chairman of this committee. So obviously all of them are to do with the criminal laws. So this gives you some kind of a history of how the things have been evolving. And this is the coverage on bar and bench. It says that some people have written a letter. I mean, obviously people who are to do with laws, lawyers, academics, and former judges. So they have complained that the committee lacks diversity in terms of social identity as well as the background and experience. Now, if I go to another report in the Hindu, it says the committee should provide for, it's the same letter, and it says the committee should provide for meaningful public engagement. So this is a grouse which I also have, that this has not been, although I have received this notification, but I don't think the process seems to be very public, friendly, or they are not like very open to inviting the public to give their feedback. And there is another point that unlike previous committees, this one doesn't even have full-time members. So that's a valid point, I guess. Then there is a point about ensuring full transparency regarding the committee's constitution and functioning, which I think is a very valid point, because somehow this is a reform of a huge magnitude. It's reforming, amending your complete, overhauling your criminal laws. So what about the whole process? What's the history behind this this evolution, and how this committee has come into being, and what are the steps forward? And now this is an interesting point. It says that the committee says that it has expressed willingness. Now I don't know what they mean by willingness, to make the questionnaire in various regional languages. If you see this website, all I can see is everything is in English. I mean, there is no not even an automated translation to any other Indian language. So my guess is this is like expression of an intention. So let's wait for this. I don't know by when it will happen, but unless in a country like India, if this intention is not really translated into actual action, people are not able to see this all this website in various languages, then I guess this process will be limited to maybe people who deal with the Supreme Court and High Courts, and people at that level. And this is another report from the same about the same committee, for criminal reforms from Deccan Herald. So this is a little bit more detailed about what exactly it says: sedition and amendment of IPC with SC judgments, and juvenile age for criminal responsibility, and so on and so forth. So let's go back to our slide and this questionnaire for IPC reforms. Now, this is the questionnaire you will receive. I have received it from somebody. I have not downloaded it myself, which I guess you will receive once you register on the website as an expert. So this is a fairly technical and legal thing. If you look at what kind of punishments, deterrence, rehabilitation, restoration, etc. So these are concepts of justice. And then there are various points of law about IPC and offenses against the state, offenses against human body. So they are talking about whether mob lynching should be made a new crime, whether honor killing should be made a new crime, etc., and so on and so forth. Then there are sexual offenses of rape, then sexual harassment, stalking, which came into being in 2013, and so on and so forth. So basically, my only point is why there is a limitation to only these questions. Maybe there is some kind of a evolution or history, but it is not very clear how this questionnaire has come into being. So that is a little bit jarring to me. And then I think the questionnaire on CrPC and law of evidence, which will be coming forth as per the schedule. So we have to wait for that. But I guess people should be prepared, because I think most of the feedback of public about speed of justice, trial, punishing of false cases, and those kind of things, they will be about CrPC. They are not about IPC. So people should prepare for whatever feedback they have. You should prepare yourself to give your feedback. Now I will cover this. There is an interesting report I found on 2003 report on criminal reforms under chairmanship of Dr. Justice Malimat. I have opened it, but it's a pretty long report and I found some very interesting points in this report. So I will make another video on this. So it will give a sense of history, because many a time people are demanding certain things which have already been discussed, and they have been covered. Some of them, those amendments have been brought into the law already, some have not been. So I will make a separate video on that. And let me go back to the last slide, which is about various resources I found. So on the same website, there is various reports of Law Commission of India. So if you want to read the previous Law Commission reports, you can read on this link over here. And I found one interesting report on IPC 498A. This was released in 2012. So many people complain about quite a huge amount of misuse of this law. Now, interestingly, this issue was raised. What about misuse of law? And this is even to this date, in 2020, people keep on saying, let's make a misuse clause. So if you look at some history, in 2012, it says, there is no reason why only for section 498A cases such a special provision shall be made. In any case, the existing provisions, section 182, 211 of IPC, and there are a few other sections, they can take care of malicious acquisitions. So basically, beating the same drum again and again will not make much difference. If people genuinely want to give feedback on CrPC, my suggestion is study these sections of IPC and section 358 of CrPC, etc., and suggest some modification to that. Why it is so difficult to prosecute false cases under these sections. So maybe the amendment is needed in these sections. So let's go back to, so there are on the same website, there are other resources like, some 2013 report and 2010 report. So I guess you can go through that if you are interested. And then, all these links are from these resources. So if you look at this BEAR Act, Law Commission of India reports, other resources, important links, media. So these are, the important links basically point to very top level websites. I mean, I don't see a lot of information as such. So National Law University website, Law Commission of India, Supreme Court of India website, etc., etc. Now, and the media reports are basically various, articles on criminal laws. So I think that's about it. And so basically, I think my feedback would be that people should start preparing, and in case you haven't done already, let me just open again the notification, and basically request all professionals, functionaries and stakeholders. So I guess a general person, a public lay person can claim to be a stakeholder and register on the website, give your feedback in case it is ignored. So one thing I will tell you is even this report of Law Commission of 2003 report, I looked at on one of the page, I will cover that. It says that some 383, it's like less than 500 people gave feedback on such a massive level of reform. So what I'm trying to tell here is that the number of people who give feedback on any kind of legal lawmaking, it's within few hundreds out of population of maybe 140 crores. So if you are one of them, then you are probably 1 in crore. I mean, that's like the ratio. So point what I'm trying to say is that one should not think that I'm just who will listen to me, I'm a nobody. It's not like that. So basically one can go to this website, click on consultation, register on this as a whatever so-called expert. I mean, let's all call ourselves. I think the only problem is organization name. So my guess is if you do not have an organization, so you can probably give your own name, and in case somebody rejects it, so I think they will be we can file RTIs to find out how many people have responded, and if you have sent your feedback, then if it was not taken up, so things will, I mean, the process has to be transparent. It is not that somebody can just push it under the carpet. So that's my way of looking at it. So definitely this is a public process. Any kind of committee on law reforms, it will come under Ministry of Home Affairs or Ministry of Law and Justice. So we can file RTIs on them to find out the progress report for any kind of doubts or any kind of queries we might have. So that's about it. I hope more and more people participate, and let me look at the next videos I want to come up with. Thanks for watching, and do subscribe to my channel.